Okay, so we're looking at... Okay, hi everyone. We're looking at question 12 from Test Yourself for chapter 10. Let's write it here. 10, chapter 10, question 12. This is Test Yourself. Alright, so question 12a. Students were surveyed about a number of pairs of shoes they owned, and the results are shown in the table on the right. Copy the table, adding a cumulative frequency column, then draw a cumulative frequency histogram and polygon. So you obviously would have to redraw that, or they would provide you a space in the exam. All right, and then if you remember, let me just enlarge this so you can see it. If you remember, okay, cumulative frequency looks like this. Let me just make the pin a bit thinner. Okay, so you start with 8 and then you add zigzag. So start with the first frequency and then add downwards. So 8 plus 11 is 19. 19 plus 10 is 29. 29 plus 6 is 35. And 35 plus 5 is 40. A good way to measure if this answer here is right is by adding a total for your frequency. Okay, so you would do 8 plus 11 plus 10 plus 6 plus 5 on your calculator, and you should get the total to be 40. All right? Okay, let's get back to the question now. All right, so I've done the first part. The second part is a histogram and a polygon. Okay, so obviously you need to do a ruler. I don't have a ruler on this app, but you guys can, obviously need a ruler. Now, okay, so now a histogram and a polygon. I'm assuming it's for the cumulative frequency. Okay, it should specify, but I'm going to assume it's for the cumulative frequency. All right. Yes, it says because then I draw a cumulative frequency histogram. All right, so then in that case, my data is down here, right? So how many pairs of shoes? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, obviously in the test, you will make sure these spaces are evened out. Okay. So say between 5 and 6, 1 centimeter each, or 2 centimeters each. It just needs to look consistent. And you would write here the title, which is pairs of shoes. Okay, and then you'd say, okay, well, what are we going up by? So looking at our cumulative frequency here, you can see that it's going by 8, 19, 29, 35, and 40. So the lowest number is 8 and the highest number is 40. Looking at my graph here, you can see I don't have much space, and maybe in your test you don't have either. So I now need to go up to 40. So how about I go up by tens, okay? So that means here, or sorry, rather by, I think 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, I'm going to go up by tens. Yep, 10, 20, 30, 40. No, it doesn't have to be exactly like mine, but it's got to, have some sort of method to the madness. Okay, so we're going to call this CF. Okay. All right, let's change color. Let's get a red for this one. All right, so I'm going to do the first row, which is... Okay, the first row here is my 5 pairs, and it's going to CF of 8. So 5, and I'm going to get an 8 now. It's just going to go there. All right, the next one is 6. Oops. The next one is 6. And we're going to 19. So 6, and we're going to 19. So again, just because it is a histogram, they're stuck together, okay? And then we're going 7 to 29. So in that one here to 29. So that was good that I went up by 10s because they're all just under the markers. And then 8 to 35. 8 to 35, so that's halfway here. Can you see? I'm just going to draw like a little thing so I can see. Sorry about my... You really need to do this with a ruler. I can't stress out more. Okay, and then we're going to... Oops, actually I'm going to rub this out because it looks horrendous. Let's try that one again. So we're going to 35. Okay, and then the last one, which is 9, we're going to 40. Okay, now you should see this. See how it's like a ladder? See how it's climbing up from one to another? See how it's going here, then here, then here, then here, then here? You should see that, okay? You should see it gradually climbing up. And why? Because it's what you're actually sketching is pairs of shoes. And that's the heading. Sorry, but I'm just not used to writing on this. Reading with this pen, okay. Pairs of shoes versus CF, or, you know, cumulative frequency. So cumulative frequency needs to look like that. Now, a polygon or an ogive, right? Now, because it is going from... Okay, what's the next section? The next section is asking for... So that's part A done. Okay, part B. Use your median, you'll use your polygon and to calculate the median, the interquartile range, and the third decile. Okay, so let's first look at the median, right? Let's do B, median of the scores. All right, so how many scores do I have in total? 40, right? What's half of 40? Well, 40 divided by 2 is 20, right? So I'm looking at the 20th score, right? Where would the 20th score be? Well, I know the 6th score is going up to 19 from my table. Can you see? The 6th score is ranked here. So basically, I just want to show you how this would look like if I was to write it linearly, right? It would look like this. 5, 5, 5, 5. How many times? 8 times, right? And so on. And then I'm going to do, what's the next one? 6, 6, how many times? 11 times, and so forth. So you know that method we used to crisscross to find the middle number? That's essentially what I'm doing here, right? Except I don't want to take that long to do it. So I'm just going to half it. So I'm going to get the 20th score. So the 20th score I know is just in here. In the between the 19th and the 29th score. So it's got to be, what, 7. But let's double check it here with my and that's what they're looking for in the test, to see if you actually understand this. So I'm just going to change color again. I'll go to green. So 20th score. Now if you did this really good with the pen, again it's an estimation, all right? So go 20th score, go right across to your ogive and go right down to that number. Look at that. Even though I was bodgy, it's still going to work out all right. Okay, my score is, my median rather, is, my median is 7. Okay, let's go to the next one. The interquartile range. Now, do you remember what interquartile range is? Interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. Right? Now, Q3 is the top 75% of the data. Well, how on earth are you going to do that with this? Look, again, like I've divided my data into halves, right? So there's going to be 20 scores here, right? And there's going to be the upper 20 scores there. All right, so what's halfway of 20 in my first, let's call this Q1. Let's bring it up here. What's half of Q1 or half of 20 scores? It's going to be 10, or the 10th, or the average rather of the 10th and the 11th score, correct? Where would the 10th and 11th score be? Let's look at our table. 10th and 11th score according to my CF. Remember, you're looking at CF. Okay, I'm just going to rub these out a little bit. We're looking at CF, right? So we're with my 10th score. Don't look at these. These are not... Let me just make this smaller. These are not your... These are just your scores, right? They're not to look at your ranking. To do ranking, you really ought to be looking at the CF column. That's the purpose of the CF column. So I'm looking for my 10th and my 11th score. Well, I know my 8th score stops here. 8 and then 9, 10, 11 has to be here. So 10 and 11 score will both have to be 6. But let's have a look at it there. 10th and 11th score. So I'm going to go here. It's halfway. Actually, no, rather. It's 10th and 11th score is not 15. 10th and 11th score is just there. Oops. I've got the rubber on. Okay. Let's go with a different color. Let's go with brown for this one. So that's your Q1 there. 10th and 11th score. We're going to go across. Now, again, if you had a grid, see, perfect. 6. Now, there's shoe sizes, right? Assumed. Let's have a look. Oh, number of pairs of shoes they owned. Okay, so it's number of pairs of shoes they owned. So there's no point in here saying... Because see how it's sort of like in before the middle mark? Usually, like in different types of data, you can sort of say it's 5.8, but it doesn't make sense in this case. The pairs of shoes, right? So in this case, it's going to be 6. My Q1 is 6. Okay, so let's have a look at our Q3. Now, our Q1 was the first 20 scores, yeah? The first half, the median of the first half. What's the median of the last half? Okay, what's the median of the last half? So remember, all my scores was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, 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 blah. We got up to 20, and we said the median here was the 10th and 11th score, right, for Q1. Well, now we're going to go past that. We're going to go 21, 22, 23, blah, 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 all the way down to... What? 40. Okay, so what's halfway between 20 and 40? 30, right? But we can't because it's even, so it's going to be the 30th score and the 31st score. Okay, so 30th score and 31st score. Let's go back here. That's nice. It sits exactly here. I can see it. It's going to sit there in this row, which is going to go to my 8th. Both of them are going to be in 8, so it's just going to be 8. So my Q3 is 8. Okay, so my IQR is going to be 8 minus 6. 6, 7, 8, so it's 2. That's it. Okay, but they want to see, so I always do it this way when I can, if I have time. But if you want to use your polygon, you want to show that you've used it. So I'm going to go down to halfway. Can you see? I'm just going to highlight it so you can see halfway between those two scores is actually here. And I'm going to go across. Yep, and I'm going to go down. Now, teachers want to see you mark. They want to see, if they said use it graphically, they want to see all those marking. They want to see the yellow, they want to see the green, and they want to see the brown, which means you've done the right thing. But I like to do it twice because I like to know my answers are accurate, okay? So even though I've worked it out here, which is your 8 minus 6, so IQR is 2. Okay, there it is. All right, let's do the next one, the last bit, I guess, which is your, oops, can't see that at all. Okay, let's do that. The third decile. Now, if remember, data is divided into how many, when it says deciles, what does that actually mean? So it's part 3. Third decile. Decile. Okay, Well, I know the first decile is 10%. The second decile is 20%. And the third would be 30. You don't have to do that. I'm just explaining as I go ahead. So 30% of the data, right? Where would 30% of the data is next? Because it says use your polygon to calculate, it's going to be, again, another estimation. So let me just delete these. I want to delete even these ones as well, so you can see a bit better. Okay. Okay, well, I know, let's do the maths behind it first, right? 30% of the data, okay? So I've got, if you just think about it, there is your whole data. How many scores are there? 40 scores. We know because we added them, right? Okay, 10% would be how many scores? 4. 20%, add another 4, which would be 8, right? 30% would be another 4, which would be 12th score. That's all you're really looking at, okay? So you're looking at the 12th score. Where would the 12th score? This is so useful. The CF now becomes so more useful because you can actually see where the 12th score is going to be. Where's the 12th score going to be? It's going to be, you're right, you guessed it, it's here, because that's everything less than 19. So 12th score is there, and it's definitely 6. But let's check it with our polygon because that's what the question asked. So the 12th score is just here, 10, 11, 12, roughly. We're going to go across. Oh, look at that. It is 6. So we say the third decile. Did it say the score? What did it ask for exactly? It said the third decile. Use your polygon to calculate. Yeah, so the third decile is going to be score or whatever it is, 6. Okay, thanks for